Hi there and welcome to a somewhat belated April edition of our RDAA video feedback. Apologies for the delay in putting all this together, but this time of the year is when the fish decide to spawn, and Del and Jim have been incredibly busy at the hatchery, plus I've been away for a week, so we're not normally this slow off the blocks, but hopefully it'll be worth it. You can hear more about what's been happening in the hatchery later. And certainly looking outside, we're now experiencing at long last some mild southwesterlies. It looks like for the bank holiday weekend we're going to be having 28 degrees, which is amazing, because frankly only last week it was frost in the second week in May, which has made fishing conditions incredibly difficult. But that hasn't stopped our members catching some really great fish. I've been genuinely surprised about how good the fishing has been on some of our lakes. So let's go and see what's been happening and find out what the team and Del have been up to. Okay, Fisheries report. Del, you look a bit knackered today.
Yeah,
what's the problem?
I've had enough. Sick and tired of sitting in the hatchery.
Yeah. But it was your idea.
I know. I've got no one to blame but myself.
Anyway, tell me how the hatchery's going. I understand you've got the brood stock, haven't you?
Yeah, we got the brood stock. They've all been stripped and put back into the river. Huge success with the chub. Not so good with the barbel, unfortunately. We've still got plenty of fish, but not as much as we hoped. We hit our target with the chub and some. To be honest, we didn't hit our target with the barbel, but we're going to have years like that. You know, one species will do better than another, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it's just been the last couple of weeks. It's just been quite stressful and long days, early mornings, that sort of stuff. And I'm sick to death of looking at the inside of it. And what hasn't helped is Jim had this great idea of insulating it, and it's like all multicoloured, so it's like being in your own sort of psychedelic world when you're in there. So.
I knew it'd be Jim's fault. Anyway, back to the actual function of the hatchery. So you've got the EA guys down, which took a picture up with the boom boat. Good spread of chub. As I understand it with the barbel, one of the problems was you've got too many big ones and not enough smaller ones. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you explain why that's a problem?
Well, basically, I mean, they're no different to us in so much as, you know, the older you are, the less fertile you are, and the longer it takes to get things working.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. We're all of that sort of age. Excluding young Matt there, obviously. You've got to tie him down. But basically they're older fish, so they're slower to do everything. We've got facilities to keep the fish for about 72 hours, and then we're at the point where we really ought to be getting them back into the river. And as it has proved, with the bigger fish, that isn't quite long enough. So we get a little bit of spawn out of them, but we don't get the maximum potential out of them. So we would rather have smaller female barbel, because they basically work a lot quicker and a bit more virile, if you like. Unfortunately, you know, the EA struggled to get some, so we actually went out and used our own kit on the following Monday, I think it was. We've always had the facility to be able to go and do it ourselves, but for all sorts of reasons we wanted the EA involved. And also, I've never electro-fished a river. You know, our electro-fishing kit is designed for lakes, and I've never really used it on a river. So we didn't know whether it would work. So it was, as much as anything, it was an experiment. But what came out of it is, you know, we've done really well.
So in terms of numbers, what do you think you might have in terms of hatch chub at the moment?
It's difficult. I reckon we've got somewhere in the region of 100,000 fry plus.
That's an incredible achievement.
Oh, yeah, I mean, when you look in the tank, I've got a couple of stills. It'll probably go up now. It's incredible. Absolutely, you know, I sometimes have to pinch myself sometimes, you know. But it's very difficult because we lump the barbel and the chub in together. You can only tell the difference between the chub and the barbel for about 3 days after hatching, because the barbel are slightly different. They hatch like a tadpole, whereas the chub are more fish-like. But the barbel then evolve over 3 or 4 days, use their egg sac up, and then they look exactly the same as. And you're talking things that are 5 mil long.
Right. We're through the different. And were the dace successful?
Yeah, dace were okay. We've still got a lot to learn with the dace. The dace are proving to be, a bit of a pain, to be honest. But we will crack it. We've more than doubled what we had last year. But, I'm still not happy with the amount that we've got. I want to get more. So we're going to be trying different things. I mean, we're still learning. And the thing is with this sort of thing, we get one chance a year. If I could do it every day of the week, in 2 weeks, I'd have it sussed and we'd be away and going. But you get one chance a year. So if you want to try something different, you've got to wait a year to do it. So, we will get there, and, but it is just an absolutely massive learning curve, a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And this year, I think it's safe to say we've learnt more this year than we have done in the total 2 previous years.
Yeah.
The first year we just wanted to produce fish, which was relatively easy. But we're now at the stage where we're trying to refine it to get more bang for our buck.
But Dale, I think you don't want to be too hard on yourself, because it's year 3. We're going from a standing start, and we're now talking tens of thousands of fish that are being reintroduced to the Kennet that would not have survived the crayfish.
Yeah, I mean, I would, and I'm guessing here, but I would say, in terms of chub, I would say we have got more chub to a 2-week-old stage, so 5 mil upswimming fly. I think we've got more chub in that hatchery now than that would survive in the river to that stage from Reading to Newbury.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. Well, look, we're not all about the hatchery. The hatchery is a big thing that we do, and it's groundbreaking stuff, and I'm personally very proud of it, and I know the members are very proud of it, and thanks to everyone who's donated towards the quite extensive running costs. But there are other waters that we need, and other projects that we've got.
We have a day job.
Yeah, and what's Jim been doing on the day job?
Listening to me moan, I expect. Basically, it's that time of year, everything's growing. We get a little bit of dull weather and things stop, then we get a little bit of rain, a bit of sunshine, boom, up it comes again. So, now grass cutting, hedge cutting, all those sort of bits and pieces that sort of get overlooked, if you like.
And how about Brownlees?
Brownlee, we've been up the Brownlee with the success of Cottage Lane, although, I'm at pains to say, and I keep saying this, Cottage Lane isn't finished yet, it's work in progress. With the success we've had with water quality there, we thought, we'd do something similar at Brownlee. So basically we went round and we scalped it, essentially, for want of a better word. We also cut a huge wind channel on Engerfield on the same bank, so basically it funnels the wind across, and you can stand on Brownlee now, and it's got a ripple. So that's increasing the water quality, which means ultimately, come this winter, we can then stock some more fish in there. We've also put a pump in there, so we can actually pump fresh water from Engerfield into Brownlee, and then it will work its way through the system, so we get a turnover of water as well. So all of that will enable us to stock more fish than a pond full of trees could hold.
And leaf litter and all the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have to say, look at the pictures, Dal. I know the project's not finished yet, but the fish are looking in fantastic condition apparently. And I think the fishing's improved already.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it was within hours of us cutting this wind channel, you could actually see fish starting to move around, starting to top around in the blow that was across the lake.
Looking for the oxygen.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
I don't think you could stress enough the value of opening up wind channels on your lakes and things like that.
So, well, I think that's a good point to stop there. Let's just move on to some announcements that we need to make. We need to remind you, and here's the poster, July the 4th, open day with Martin Bowler. We've got 1 or 2 slots left for car boot stalls, only a £5. Just message me or email me to book your slot. Should be a good day. Martin is possibly the most successful all-round angler in the country, and it's very rare he agrees to do one of these.
Yeah, this is the first time for a long time, and I had to get an arm and a half up his back to come out and do it. We're really fortunate in so much as we have good relationships with a lot of these guys, and I like to think that they enjoy coming along and helping us out.
Well, we've certainly had some great guests in the past. I mean, David Seaman, Paul Whitehouse, Keith Arthur. I mean, it's been good to see them, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and also it's been busy. The coaching team have been out there with their full coaching program. We'll put the posters up so people can make a note of what's coming up. And Steve Reed and his team from the Better Fishing Academy, they've run sessions on Froxfield, on lure fishing. In fact, tonight, the night we're filming, they're doing one down at Cottage Lane on carp fishing. I think Jim's going to help out at that, and that should produce a few fish. We had a very successful tench workshop, and I think Dave Tarrant very kindly came along and shot some video clips, so we'll play those in a minute. It's what is really encouraging is to see the people who've been to those clinics and then see the next year or the year after that, they're on our Facebook page with fish of lifetimes. Using the tactics they learn. And I think it's fabulous that we've got a club that's passing on its knowledge and information to each other.
That's as far as, people are probably sick to death of hearing it. That's part of the community we're trying to create.
Absolutely.
And who knows in years to come, those people that learned those lessons and have gone out and caught all of these fish and whatever, they'll then in turn pass that knowledge on at one of our do's.
In
actual fact, Kevin Hargreaves, he was part of the
He absolutely was, and you'll see some tench from Kevin later when we roll the gallery. Now, we've also got the 6 float session coming up on the Kennet at Seal on the 8th of August, and the barbel session. I'm not sure whether are they having it upper beddings or lower beddings.
I'll be honest, I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway,
without looking, I don't know.
But the barbel session is coming up on the Kennet on the 19th of August as well. There may be slots available there. Again, email Steve or send him a message and see if you can put yourselves onto that.
Although they're not allowed to catch any of my babies.
No. They've got to use big baits.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So I think now it's time to roll the gallery. Fishing pictures of the month of April. Well, Val, that was the month of April.
Not bad.
Not bad at all, considering they had frosts, gale force winds.
I think
mainly the wind came from the northeast most of the time. It was horrible.
Changeable would be the weather term for that, I think.
Well, I mean, let's just have a quick look at some of these shots. I mean, the first one I want to highlight, actually, before you come on to award your prize, is right at the end of the gallery there. Aidan Jordan. We gave Aidan the prize for that big perch last year.
Yes,
do you remember?
Yes.
He's gone down to Brownlee just after the work had been done, and you can see the wind. It's what you were saying earlier. You can see the wind ripping across all the. But look at the condition of that fish.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you was to sort of paint a picture of a common carp, it'd be like that. Right shape, everything. It's nice.
I think, and another youngster that fishes brownies is young Benjamin Scott.
Yes.
Now, Ben catches a few fish. He's doing all right. He needs to work on his photography, but he has absolutely got a cracker here. We don't normally feature fishing nets, but I love that shot of that
a little bit different. Yeah,
in the water.
A little bit, whether it was on purpose or by accident, I don't know. But it's nice.
That's a good shot.
Although I did have to look twice because that looks like he's hurt his thumb and he's got a plaster on it. And then I realised
it's a pectoral fin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't not ignore young Avon McDonald. Comes out with her dad Ashley. Seems to love her fishing.
Yeah.
And I reckon she's going to turn into a class lady member of the club, don't you?
I think she'll show a few of the boys up. That's for sure.
And there's old Kevin Hargreaves then, tutor turned, pupil turned tutor.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's one of his 9s or one of his 8s, but my God, that boy has been catching some fish.
He's been doing really well, particularly through April.
Yeah, he's a great ambassador for the club as well. And can't leave without mentioning that picture that our resident videographer here, Dave Tarrant, took of Doddy with that tench. I mean, that is a fabulous picture.
Yeah, well, if Doddy smiled a bit more, it'd be even better. But it's a cracking picture. It highlights the fact that it's so green. That's what's nice about it.
It's a beauty. So, well done, Dave, and obviously well done, Andrew, on that one. We're not actually going to give this one the prize. Dale's decided on another picture, but we are going to be using this one prominently in a future poster for Redden District. Because, that kind of sums up what Redden District is, a part of what Redden District is about, which is big waters, big fish, lovely wild venue.
Nice. Yeah? It's got everything in it. It's mirror reflection on the water. You got sunsets. You got it's everything.
It's a cracker and done with an iPhone.
Yeah.
There you go.
The only thing is he didn't wear his RDAA hat.
Yeah, you can't tell Doddy what hat to wear. Right, so fishing picture of the month for April. Who have you gone for?
Well, I've gone for John Middleton with a PB tench from Flint again. It really shows off the colours of the fish. Where you got the blue sky, blue water. Water's not blue. We all know that, but it looks blue in there. Yeah, it's just another sort of springtime capture, and that epitomises spring.
Yeah, well, congratulations, John. What's he got to do?
He has got to get in contact via Messenger or on our Facebook page, whichever. And what we'll do is we'll make sure your prize, courtesy of Rod Hutchinson Bait and Tackle and Bait Tech, is in the hut. And of course, you will get your RDAA woolly hat. Because we've gone to woolly hats now.
Congratulations, John, and thanks for that, Del. Right, I think we now move on to Fish of the Month. We had quite a lot of entries on your new wonderful website. Can I just make a really gentle appeal to people? It's fabulous to see the entries coming in. I moan when we don't have enough, but you know what? There are monsters swimming around in Redden District waters, and your £6 carp from Wilmots ain't going to be winning Fish of the Month. If it's a great picture, it might win Picture of the Month. But, we are awarding these to specimen fish or fish that are particularly notable for the water from which they're from. So, by all means, keep the entries coming in. But bear in mind, the bar is quite high with Redden District. We are a club that has some of the biggest fish in the country in our waters, and that is reflected in the sort of fish that win these prizes. Which is why I'm delighted to announce that for April, for once, a dyed-in-the-wool carper has put in a prize.
It's obviously a new member.
Yeah, a £45 comment from Pingewood, even name the lake. We do give people the option not to name the lake, and it's a beautiful, beautiful fish that Bradley Hanson has caught. I think we've got a couple of pictures of Bradley with it. And congratulations, Bradley. You win a £50 Angling Direct voucher, which I'm sure you'll spend on boilies or something carpy anyway, and a lovely trophy. So
the other half of his trousers.
Oh, the other half of his trousers. Yeah, we buy you a full pair of trousers for 50 quid. Get in touch, mate, and I'll do the a formal handover of the trophy and the tackle voucher. So congratulations to everybody, and thanks very much for your entries. Keep them rolling again. I've already got some pretty special ones for May as well.
Oh, May's been because we're a little late. You know, we're halfway through May now, so yeah, May's going to be a bumper month.
Oh yeah, there's just some amazing fish caught. Right, we'd normally now, Del, go on to the Fortis prize draw.
But we anyone that's seen this before will know that what we can do through Clubmate is we can filter down to birth dates, and then I can filter them down to months and then come up with a list of birthdays. But the powers that be have decided that data protection encumbers that, so we've now lost the ability to do it. So what we're going to do, we're going to postpone it this month, because I only found this out about half an hour ago, lastminute.com, and so we're going to postpone it for this month, and what we're going to do is we are going to compile a list of YouTube subscribers. There's around 1,800 at the moment. We'd like to boost that up. So anyone that subscribes to our YouTube channel will be in with a chance of getting a free pair of sunglasses courtesy of Fortis, and they are nice sunglasses as well. They're well worth winning. So, and it's a click on a button, a ring on a bell or something like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but next month that's how we'll be going. We'll be going down the route of giving our prizes away to YouTube subscribers.
It might not be a birthday, it might just be a random selection.
It'll just be a random selection from anyone that has subscribed to our channel. So fantastic. If you want to get yourself a free pair of glasses, make sure you subscribe.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much for that, Del. I think that probably concludes all the items we've had, other than to hear from Jim on fishing prospects for the month of May, and we'll let him do a little bit of June, but not past June the 16th, yeah?
Yeah, no rivers.
No rivers.
No rivers. Yeah, mind you, I don't think he's... Yeah, he has actually. He's been down a few, so he has got a fair idea. But come next month, he'll have a good idea, because he'll be sick to death of them.
Of course, he'll be cutting them, won't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be cutting them, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm sure you'll be encouraging him.
Oh, of course, I always do.
Right, you bugger off, and we'll have Jim next.
Yeah.
Jim, before I bring you in, I just realised I stumbled over my words last time. In my own defence, I have just come out of sedation in hospital, so
yeah, good excuse.
I'm sponsored by some kind of sedative at the moment. Lovely picture, popped up again, of Ava Holmes. She is Ava Holmes, not Ava McDonald. And yes, Ava Holmes will be a fabulous angler in the future. I've no doubt.
Certainly will, yeah. She's almost catching as many as her dad already. And
probably more than her granddad.
Yeah.
Right, so it's been an interesting month for tension carp.
Oh, certainly has.
May, we know, has been spectacular. And what are you reckoning, well, May so far, what do you reckon is going to be happening for the rest of this month and into early June?
Well, I reckon it's going to be your tension, your carp again. Lots of times I've been sort of walking around, I've given Flint, Englefield and Pingewood a good mow recently. They're seeing a lot of wet mats around on the floor. The tench anglers are all happy. Certain days it has been a bit of a struggle for the tench guys on the bigger pits, but there's been a few days where it's been really on and they've been almost clubbing them. So plenty of doubles have been coming out. I think in the last sort of week or so I've heard of 3, potentially 4 doubles coming out, which is great to see as well. So for the guys out there targeting tench, keep at it. They've not spawned yet. There's a good chance of a double figure to be had this month.
And what about those lakes that are slow to warm up? I mean, you always reckon Moatlands takes a while, don't you?
Yeah, Moatlands always does. Again, you've got the big lake next door, so that's feeding into Moatlands, so that's keeping it as a bit of chill on the water there. Slightly deeper as well, so obviously takes a bit longer to warm up. But your places like Flint, Englefield, they're the first to sort of kick into gear, because you've sort of got average depths of sort of 5-6 foot in those, so they don't take long to warm up.
But you think Moatlands, with this warm weather coming now?
Oh, certainly will, yeah. This weekend that we've got with this warm weather, they'll certainly be starting to get on the feed over there. And Moatlands is a great place, even if the tench aren't really on the feed there. Get yourselves over there, stick a feeder rod out for the tench, and you can have a great day's rudd fishing there. There's, over the last couple of years, there's some right stonking rudd in there, sort of 8 ounce plus. So, yeah, the tench aren't always going to be on the feed, but if the tench aren't on the feed, don't ruin the day's fishing. Take a float rod with you and have a good day's sport, catch some rudd, some nice perch in Moatlands as well.
What about those Scottish Lane bream? They must be on the munch, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not seeing too many go up on the Facebook page, but I'm sure there's a few guys that have been going down there and catching a few. I know last month a chap went down and had a really good afternoon's fishing down there. Again, I always say it's a small lake, but make sure you have a look for the fish in there. Don't just turn yourself up, plop in the first swim and expect to catch. Look for where the fish are bubbling, and if you can be on the fish there, keep the feeder going in and you'll have a great day's fishing.
So, do you think we're going to be seeing a £12 tench this year out of our waters and a £60 carp, or not?
I'm not sure. 11.2 is the best I've heard on the tench. That was a couple of days ago. I heard of it, mate. You caught it last weekend. £60 carp is going to be very close to it. Yeah, multiple of our waters have done 50-pounders already this year. I just think we're probably a year away before we get quite to that stage where we see a 60, but plenty of 50-pounders. I'll be honest, I don't think there's a gravel pit we've got that hasn't got a fish over 50 pound or very close to it. So for the carp anglers, there is plenty to go at.
Well, on that note, Jim, thank you very much. Well, that's it for another month. I hope you enjoyed what we had to offer, and all that remains is for me to wish you tight lines and some great sport out there. Have a good one.